What do you call the place in your life where the light thins and your breath turns careful? A painted valley opens under a cold sky, all stone, dust, and muted grass. One figure moves through it in a rough wool cloak, small against the slope. At first, it looks like a shepherd's path. A narrow track bends between rock walls, and the shadow lies across it like spilled ink. The sheep do not run, but they bunch close, their hooves striking loose gravel. Beneath that path is an older pressure. Night does not need to fall for fear to wake. A cliff can cast enough darkness by itself. You know this kind of valley where nothing has touched you yet, and still your chest tightens. One thing waits in the psalm like a small unanswered sound. Why does the rod appear in the dark before the table, before the green pasture, before the open field? The wood rests in the shepherd's hand while the ravine still narrows. Another detail lingers beside it. Why is a table set while enemies remain in sight, while dust still hangs in the air, while danger has not stepped aside? The cloth is spread too early for the kind of safety you would have chosen, because this is not just a story about passing through a hard place. It is a story about being kept inside one. The valley is not only a strip of land between hills. It is the hour when your thoughts scatter like sheep at the sound of stones shifting above you. Then the rod comes nearer. It is not a decoration in the shepherd's hand. It strikes the ground, checks the brush, turns back what prowls low, and makes a hard sound against the dark. The staff does something gentler. Its curve presses against wool and bone. It catches the one that drifts, draws the neck away from the ledge, and settles the panic that keeps choosing its own direction. This is the part you resist. You wanted a map, a gate flung wide, a valley erased by morning. Instead, you are given wood in a hand, footsteps ahead of you, and a pace you did not choose. Then the psalm breaks your pride with one plain mercy. You are not asked to conquer the valley. You are led through it. That is when the table appears. Not beyond the enemies, not after the last threat, not once the horizon clears. Boards, bread, oil, and a cup stand in the same world where watchful eyes still remain. So the table becomes more than a meal. It is the shepherd's refusal to let fear choose the hour of your nourishment. Your enemies may keep their distance in the dust, but they do not decide whether your hands receive bread. And the rod and staff answer the first waiting question. One guards, one guides. In the dark, comfort is not softness alone. It is protection close enough to hear and guidance close enough to interrupt you. The table answers the second. Peace is not always the silence after danger. Sometimes it is a cup held steady while danger still breathes nearby. There comes a moment, quiet and almost hidden, when the sheep finally yields. Not brave, not strong, just tired of bolting toward every echo, tired of scraping against stone, tired of trusting its own fear. Then you let the crook touch your shoulder. You let the pace ahead of you become your pace. You walk where the hand with the rod and staff walks, and the valley does not vanish, but it stops ruling you. You realize that the psalm is not just about death or enemies or an ancient shepherd on an old hillside. It is about the soul learning in the narrow dark that God does not only meet you after terror, he leads you inside it, feeds you within sight of it, and turns the valley itself into a map of how you are kept.